Om Prapannaparijātāya Totravetraikapānaye Jnānamudraya Krishnāya Gītāmritaduhe Namaha. Pranams everyone. So we are in chapter 5, Sloka number 15. Shri Bhagavanuvāca Nādatye kasyachit papam nachaiva sukrutam vibhuhu ajñānenāvritam jnānam tena muhyanti jantavah. Nādatte kasyachit papam nachaiva sukrutam vibhuhu ajñānenāvritam jnānam tena muhyanti jantavah. So Bhagavan is slowly building this topic of jnana here. So initially, if you look at it, first in Sloka 7, Bhagavan said that people know that when a jnani is, even though he is acting, he is actually in the midst of action, he is not affected. That was in the 7th Sloka. Then in the 8th Sloka and 9th Sloka, Bhagavan basically said, a jnani knows that he is not doing anything. So initially it was as though that he is, although he is doing, is not affected. That's what others see. But then in the 8th and 9th Sloka, Bhagavan said that jnani knows that he doesn't do anything at all. Na karomi kaschit. He understands that he doesn't do anything. And then Sloka 10, 11, 12, there was a slight detour to talk about karma yoga, as in how to become jnani, because basically you will have to start doing karma yoga, and then karma yoga was defined there. Then in Sloka 13, Bhagavan came back to this topic of Sannyasa and jnani, and he said a jnani is one who has renounced all actions through knowledge, and he remains comfortably seated. So he is not, na eva kurvan na kārayitā. He does not do any action, and neither does he instigate anyone to do action. So he is not responsible for any action at all, either directly or indirectly. So that was on 13th. Then 14th Bhagavan said, he said, Atma does not create any doership. Atma does not create any outcome for actions. Atma does not enjoy anything. Atma does not instigate action also. So all the 4 things are negated. It does not create action. It does not create objects that are results of the action or outcome for the action. Atma is not an enjoyer also, and Atma is also not an instigator. So now if you look at 13 and 14, 13 Bhagavan said jnani is neither a doer nor an enjoyer or an instigator. And then in 14 Bhagavan said Atma is neither a doer nor an instigator. So we'll have to equate this and then say a jnani and Atma are one and the same. Then in this Sloka 15, he is continuing the same thread. Now he said, if Atma is not the one which is doing the action, Bhagavan said in the 14th Sloka, Svabhavastu pravartate. It is the Maya which operates all these actions. So then, now question comes, Maya. Okay, then we also know that on our side, why can't it be Īśvara who is actually doing all these things? As in Brahman who is doing all these things. We always claim, right? Even in Tamil we say, he is the one who is doing everything. So that question is being answered here. He is slowly building, and then next question also will be a thread continuation of this, one topic after the other. So here, if Atma does not do anything, and if Atma does not get anyone to do anything, then our doubt could be, why can't it be Īśvara who creates this doership? Because Bhagavan used the word Swabhava. Swabhava means Maya. And Īśvara is the one who has this Maya. So can it be the Īśvara, that Īśvara, who is the doer and who is the one who creates this doership? Or Īśvara could be the kārayitā, as the one who instigates others to act. So in this case, for example, he instigates the Jīva to act. So Īśvara is the kārayitā, the instigator, and Jīva could be the karta. And this could be the understanding that some might have. In fact, there are people who claim, right, from my mind, it is my mind which instigates to perform all these actions, and this mind is ruled by Īśvara, or I am not responsible for any action that come out of my body. This body was given by Īśvara, this mind was given by Īśvara, so on and so forth. Some will also claim in Tamil, it said, Amati Vekara Namba Arro. So everything is decided by him and I am just an instrument. In fact, Bhagavad Gita later when we will say Nimitta Matram Bhava to Arjuna. You just be an instrument, you will say. But that doesn't mean that I am now saying that Īśvara is the one who is the instigator. We will come to it later. So we are just doing a vichara now. So now not only that, when we look at Īśvara Lakshana, Īśvara we take as the cause for everything. For example, in Brahma Sutra, Īśvara is introduced to be janmādy asya yataḥ. Janma adi asya yataḥ. Which means, actually it means that which is responsible for creation, sustenance and dissolution is Īśvara. Srishti, Sthiti, Pralayam. Janma is creation, Srishti. Adi means etc. Here Adi etc. includes Sthiti, which is the sustenance, and then Laya or Pralaya, which is the dissolution. So Janma Adi Asya. This creation of what? This asya is this. This means this Jagat, universe. Yataḥ. Yataḥ means from which, from what. That is the definition for Īśvara. Īśvara is the one from whom this creation, sustenance and dissolution happen, of this universe happen. So in other words, Īśvara is both the intelligent cause as well as the material cause of the universe. Another Lakshana of Īśvara, if you look at, one is janmādy asya yataḥ. Another Lakshana of Īśvara is karma-phala-dātā. As in, whenever we do any good deed, punyam, say a dhanam, then once the action is performed, the action itself ceases to exist. Action has nothing out of it. The action is gone, vanished. But from this action, punya comes up. Now this punya has to be assigned to the same karta as who has done the action. Now who is responsible for matching that punya with the correct jiva? Because some of the punya karmas for which we take the result may not happen in the same path. Same thing with the papa karma. And somebody has to ensure this matching takes place correctly. Some schools of thought say it's karma which does that. Karma itself, the action itself will ensure that the matching is done with the result to the jiva. But then we say karma cannot do on its own because it ceases to exist. Once the dhanam action is performed, the action is not lingering anywhere. It's not like a sound wave that is actually going from one place to another that I can actually, this action goes from, it's always lingering there. It's not there. And more importantly, action is inert, jadam. So which means there has to be an intelligent cause which does this matching, and that intelligent cause is Īśvara. Therefore the one who gives karma-phala is Īśvara. and to connect the karma-phala with the correct Jīva without any mistake is performed by Īśvara. So now we know that. Then also we know that that is for karma-phala. We know when a bhakta goes to Bhagavan, there have been stories where they say, Bhagavan says, I will take over your papams, or I will remove your papams. So Īśvara is capable of removing our sins. Harihi means harati papani iti harihi. Hari is the one who removes our papams. So Īśvara has the lakshana of being the one who removes our papam, one who takes over our papam. He is also the one who gives the karma-phala, and he is the one who is responsible for srishti, sthiti, layam. And not only that, all the laws of this universe, the gravitational law, the magnetic law, all these laws of the universe are all laws of Īśvara. All these are said in the Sastras. They are also said in Bhagavad Gita also. So Bhagavan says all these things can be taken as truth, but only from a certain angle. Nothing is wrong in what we just discussed. All are true. Bhagavan is the Srishti Sthiti Laya Karana. Bhagavan is a takeover, is the karma-phala-dātā. Bhagavan removes our sins. Bhagavan is the cause of the universe. But all are true under what condition? See, when we say Īśvara, there are two tattvas in it. One is the Maya tattva, Maya, and the other one is Brahman. Brahman is the one that gives existence for that Maya also. Maya by its nature does not have any existence. Brahman is the one which gives the existence for Maya. Brahman is the awareness principle, consciousness principle, knowledge principle. So Īśvara is nothing but Brahman plus Maya. And what is Brahman? Brahman is Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam, Brahma. So that which is existence, Satyam, that which is knowledge principle, Satyam, Jnanam, and Anantam means that which is all pervading, Purna. That is Brahman. Existence, knowledge, all pervading. Now, how do we understand this? When Maya enjoins with the knowledge eternal principle, when Maya combines with the Brahma Tattva, and then Īśvara is formed. See, for everything there are two angles to it. For example, let's go to a jewelry shop and then we buy a gold bangle or a gold chain or a gold necklace. So we call it as a bangle, necklace or a chain. At that time what we do, we give importance to, suppose if I want to buy a necklace, I give importance to the design. Whether I like this design, that design, we have choices. So we give importance to the form. Or I want to buy only bangle, I am not interested in necklace. I am only looking at bangle. So at that time I am giving importance to the form. That is one way of looking at it. Now if the same bangle, if I want to sell it back to the jeweler, now will he be looking at the design or the form? No. He will be only looking at the material. How much of gold is in it? At that time he sees whether it is gold or not, and if it is gold, how much of gold is in it. At that time there is no need for him to, or he will not be inclined to look at the form at all. The underlying material is very important. Same thing with Īśvara. We can see Īśvara in two ways. One as Maya Pradhana. When Maya is seen as the predominant component of Īśvara, then Īśvara has all the lakshanas that we just now discussed. Karma-phala-dātā, sthiti laya, shrishti sthiti laya karana. He is the one who can take away all our sins. That is when Īśvara is seen as Maya Pradhana. The same Īśvara can also be seen as Brahman Pradhana. If we understand that Maya in Īśvara is also Mithya. Remember, we say Maya is Mithya. And therefore, if we remove Maya from Īśvara, then Īśvara does not have any of the qualities that we said above. So this Brahma Swarupa Īśvara does not take anyone's papa, he does not take anyone's punya also, he does not give any karma-phala, he is not the cause for anything. In fact, he has the same Swarupa as the ones we mentioned for Atma. He is Akarma Swarupa. He does not do any action, nor does he instigate any action, nor does he enjoy any action, nor does he create outcome for any action. So in this shloka, 15th shloka here, Bhagavan does not talk about Īśvara from Maya's standpoint. He is talking about Īśvara from Brahman's standpoint. So Bhagavan talks from a higher level, higher order level. Pāramārthika drishti, we say, and from the absolute standpoint. When we see Īśvara from a Brahma Swarupa, then it is Pāramārthika drishti. When we see Īśvara from the Maya Rupa, then it is Vyavaharika drishti, empirical standpoint. So here Bhagavan talks about Pāramārthika drishti. Now, if we look at Īśvara from a Vyavaharika drishti, from an empirical standpoint, from a transactional standpoint, then what is the relationship between Jīva and Īśvara? In this case, from the empirical standpoint, Īśvara is the cause, we are the effect. Īśvara is the creator, we are the created. Īśvara is the karma-phala-dātā, we are the kartas and bhoktas. Okay. This is from the Vyavaharika drishti. But if we look at the Pāramārthika drishti, what is the relationship between Jīva and Īśvara? If you look at the Pāramārthika drishti, Jīva is nothing but Atma, Īśvara is nothing but Brahman. Brahman and Atma are one and the same. So Jīva and Īśvara are not different. Jīva Īśvara na paraha. Both, there is no both, there is only one, Brahman. The difference between Jīva and Īśvara is only due to Maya or avidya. Avidya means ignorance. We will come to it. You can take note of this. So the difference is between Jīva and Īśvara is only due to Maya or avidya, which is ignorance. Now, in the 14th shloka, remember the previous shloka, Bhagavan spoke न कर्तृत्वं न कर्माणि लोकस्य सृजति प्रभुः न karma-phala samyogam स्वभावस्तु प्रवर्तते. There Bhagavan talked about Atma. Atma creates neither doership nor objects. It is nothing but, Atma is nothing but Jiva's Pāramārthika drishti. Jiva's Pāramārthika drishti is Atma. Īśvara's Pāramārthika drishti is Brahman. So here in the 14th Sloka, Bhagavan talked about Jiva's Pāramārthika Drishti. So he said, he is the one, Atma is the one with the body. He is not, neither does he act nor does he instigate. Now in the 15th Sloka, Bhagavan talks about Īśvara from Pāramārthika Drishti, and that is Brahma Drishti. And here he says, Brahman does not do anything, Brahman does not instigate anyone also. So when we say Īśvara is the cause, it depends, Īśvara is the cause or not depends on the angle from which we see. If seen along with Maya, he is the cause. If we remove Maya, he is neither the cause nor the effect. At that time, he does not act, he does not instigate. So what we have to understand is, all this creation, sustenance, dissolution, it all belongs only to the realm of Maya, which is Mithya. What is Mithya? Satyam Mithya. Opposite of Satyam is Mithya. Mithya means dependent reality. Satyam has independent reality. Mithya is like a shadow. By shadow cannot exist on its own. Mithya is not absolutely real. The snake is not real. It is only the rope which appears as the snake. So the creation, sustenance, the dissolution are all Mithya. As knowledge dawns upon us, then we are able to see Maya. It is the Maya's play. It is the work of Maya. Nothing has really happened. That as knowledge dawns. But as long as we are in this vyavahara, as long as we are yet to get that knowledge, we must revere Īśvara as cause, and we must surrender to him through bhakti, upasana, karma yoga, all these things. So now if we come to the sloka, Nādate kasyachit papam nachaiva sukrutam vibhuhu. Vibhuhu here refers to Īśvara. In the previous sloka we saw Prabhuhu. Lokasya srijati Prabhuhu. Here Vibhuhu. There Prabhuhu referred to Jīva. Here Vibhuhu refers to Īśvara, the Vyapi, Parameshvara. There that Atma, Prabhuhu refers to the Atma without the Anatma. Anatma Rahita Atma. Here Bhagavan refers to Maya Rahita Brahman. Maya Rahita Brahma Swarupa Īśvara. So what does this Brahma Swarupa Īśvara not do? Na adate kasyachit papam. Na, it does not. Adate, take. What does it not take? Papam. So okay, is it with somebody that it doesn't take? No. Kasyachit, from anyone. Īśvara does not take anyone's papam. Na adate kasyachit papam. Okay, so he does not take anyone's papam. Will he take the punyam? Bhagavan says, not that too. Na chaiva sukrutam. Na chayeva sukrutam. Nor the punyam. So Īśvara does not take anyone's papam. Īśvara does not take anyone's punyam. What does it mean? It means Īśvara neither does any action nor does he instigate anyone to act. That becomes false here. These slokas will have to be understood carefully. Because the same Bhagavan is also going to say, Patram Pushpam Phalam Toyam, I will take whatever you offer. So if he doesn't take Papam Punyam, will he take Patram Pushpam Phalam Toyam? Then Bhagavan is also going to say, I will remove all the sins. And then Bhagavan is also going to say, I am the one who gives karma-phala. And Bhagavan is also going to say, you are just an instrument, nimitta matram bhava. When is all that true? When it is from vyavaharika drishti. Here Bhagavan is talking about Pāramārthika drishti, Brahma Swarupa Īśvara does not do anything. If we say Jīva is mithya, as in Jīva is mithya, then Īśvara is also mithya. If the prapancha, the creation, the universe is mithya, then the act of creation is also mithya. The creator is also mithya. So the mithya Īśvara and the mithya prapancha are dependent on the true Satya Brahman. So Brahma Swarupa Īśvara neither takes anyone's papam nor does he take anyone's punya. But until the time we get that jnana, we must understand Īśvara to be omnipotent, omniscient, the creator, and we must surrender to him through service and devotion. Until when? Until we get the jnana. After jnana, our standpoint will shift. After that jnana, there is no concept of Īśvara. There is nothing called Īśvara. It is like this. To climb up the terrace, we must use the ladder. So what is the ladder for us? Īśvara is the cause. Īśvara, we have to surrender to Īśvara. There has to be devotion to Īśvara. And once we reach the terrace where self-knowledge, we got the knowledge, the ladder is no longer required. So there is no need for Īśvara once we reach there. But without the ladder, we could not have reached at all. So this is important. So now we come to the second line. Here Bhagavan says, Jivas do not realize this truth. What truth? That Īśvara is neither neither does he take papam or punyam. Īśvara is not the one who acts or instigates others to act. Why? Because they are ignorant. As I said, Ajnāna, ignorance. We saw avidya. This is because the next sloka Bhagavan will connect from avidya, Ajnāna standpoint. So Bhagavan is introducing a new word, Ajnāna. Ajnāne āvrutam jnānam tena muhyanti jantavaha. Jantavaha, living beings. Bhagavan is calling us jantu. Sometimes this word jantu is used in derogatory terms, but in those days, even the derogatory terms were not really derogatory. Punah punah jayate iti jantuhu. One who is born again and again is jantu. Or that which has taken a body is a jantu. Jantavaha, last word jantavaha, previous word is muhyanti. Muhyanti means what? Deluded. The beings are deluded. Why are the beings deluded? Ajnāne āvrutam jnānam. Jnānam here means viveka shakti, the discrimination power. That discrimination power, jnānam, is āvrutam. Āvrutam means it's veiled, it's covered. By what? Ajnānena, by ignorance. The discrimination is veiled by ignorance, and therefore the beings are deluded. Tena means hence. Therefore. So discrimination is veiled by ignorance, hence the living beings are deluded. So what does Bhagavan want to convey here? See, these words are important. Bhagavan says basically here, Brahman need not be attained. The eternal Brahman, the blissful Brahman, it has already been attained by us. It's already been attained. But do we realize that we have already attained Brahman? No, we have not. How can we say that? Because we experience sorrow. What is the analogy that we give in for this one? Where we have attained but we have not realized, and therefore we are in sorrow. Some people who wear glasses, they have this habit of keeping their glasses on the top of their forehead sometimes. And suppose if you have this kind of a person searching for glasses because he wants to read something very important, very urgent, and he has been searching all over the place, but he is not able to find his glasses, and he is unhappy, angry, agitated, dejected. That is the same example. Have we realized Brahman? Have we attained Brahman? Yes. Do we realize it? No. How can we say that? Because we experience sorrow. Every day we are unhappy, we are angry, we are agitated. That means we have not attained, or we have not realized that we have attained. And what could be the reason that we have not realized this Brahman? Not that Brahman is not there, not that I have to go to a certain place and I am in this place. Ajnānam, ignorance. So as I said, Bhagavan will connect this in the next Sloka. Bhagavan will talk about Ajnānam in the next Sloka. See how he is actually slowly building this from one Sloka to another. So due to ignorance, the truth is veiled. The truth has not been removed from us. Nobody has hidden this truth from us. And nobody has. The true nature is not separate from us. It is always with us, just like the glasses are always on the forehead. The truth is covered. Notice one thing carefully here. Bhagavan does not say Atma has been covered. Bhagavan does not say Atma has been covered. Bhagavan says the truth has been covered. It is the knowledge or the understanding power, the discriminative power that has been covered, that has been veiled. Avritam jnanam. That discrimination is veiled. The Viveka Shakti is veiled. The ability to understand this Atma Tattva is covered. Atma cannot be covered. Why? For anything to be covered, it has to be bigger than that other object. If I want to cover a book with a towel, the towel has to be bigger than the book itself. But Atma itself is all pervading. How can you cover Atma? It has to be bigger than Atma. It cannot be. Atma already is all pervading. How can you cover space? So Atma is not covered. The truth is covered. The ability, the discriminative power is veiled. So the ability to understand this Atma Tattva is covered by ignorance. Therefore, tena jantavaha muhyanti. Therefore, all beings, hence all the beings are deluded. Muhyanti comes from the word moham. Moham means delusion. And over here, what is the delusion that we have? We have this delusion that I am the one who is doing it. I have to do it. I must do it. I want to do it. I want to claim that I have done it. I want others to recognize that I am doing it. Or I am making someone else do it. I am the leader, I am the manager, I am the organizer, I will get others to do it. That wrong attitude, that wrong understanding, that karomi attitude, that karayami attitude. So that is the wrong attitude, that is the moham, that is the delusion. There is one more thing that we can derive from here. Ajnāna is the karanam, moham is the karyam. As in, ignorance is the cause, delusion is the effect. So wherever there is ignorance, there will be delusion. What is delusion? Giving it a value much higher than what it is supposed to have. If I buy a cinema ticket in a black for a price that is not worth it, or for more than the market price, that means I am deluded. Where I am giving importance to something which is not worth giving that importance. So in the rope snake example, when we see the snake instead of the rope, seeing the snake is moham, not seeing the rope is ajnāna. See, ajnāna is the cause, delusion is the effect. I am not able to see the rope, that is ajnāna, ignorance. Okay, if I don't see the snake, if I don't see the rope at all, it's fine. No, it does not happen like that. I am seeing an effect because of that, and that effect is I am seeing the snake. That is moham, that is delusion, that is samsara. Not able to see Brahman, this word as Brahman is the ignorance. But if I am able to not see Brahman, I am not able to see anything. No, it does not happen. I see Brahman as this person, that person. I have problems in this world. It becomes samsara. So to remove moham, we will have to remove ajnāna. So Bhagavan is going to talk about ajnāna in the next sloka. See, as I said, he builds it nicely. Now he is going to talk about how to remove ajnāna, how to remove this ignorance in the next sloka. So in this sloka, what we have to understand, Maya Rahita Īśvara does not take the papam, nor does it take any punyam from anyone. The discrimination is wielded by ignorance, hence the beings are deluded, and therefore we are all deluded. Now we'll go to the next sloka. Sloka number 16. Jnānena tu tat jnānam, jnānena tu tat ajnānam, yesham nāshitam ātmanah, tesham āditya vajnānam, prakāṣayati tatparam. Jnānena tu tat ajnānam, yesham nāshitam ātmanah, tesham āditya vajnānam, prakāṣayati tatparam. So first Jnani does not do anything, then Atma does not do anything, then it is the Maya which does it, but then Maya does it but not the Brahman. And why do Brahman does it but we don't realize? It is ignorance. So how these slokas have been built? I am just recollecting. Now Ajnāna. We will talk about Ajnāna. So previous sloka we saw that ignorance is the cause of our samsara. Ignorance is the cause of our delusion. Ignorance is the cause of our sorrow. Therefore Bhagavan had mapped the root cause. He didn't say your sorrow is caused by that person, your sorrow is caused by the actions of that person. Bhagavan mapped it to the root cause. The root cause is ignorance. Why? Bhagavan is telling us Atma is all pervading. It is never away from you. But due to ignorance, we miss recognizing it. And not just stopping there. Ignorance, I am not able to see, that's fine. But what happens? Ignorance produces adhyasa. Adhyasa means superimposition. We wrongly superimpose the body, mind on the self. When I say I am the Atma, I am the Brahman, I am not able to realize that I am the Brahman. That's fine. If I am not able to realize I am the Brahman, it's fine. But what happens is, not realizing I am the Brahman, I try to find who I am, and I wrongly superimpose this body and mind to be self. So this adhyasa, this error, that gives rise to delusion. And that from that delusion it gives rise to sorrow. So sorrow is never real. It is only the product of ignorance. So in this sloka Bhagavan is going to say, if a person can remove ignorance through knowledge, he will attain Brahman. Jnānena eva tu kaivalyam. Only through knowledge one can attain Brahman. See, Brahman is something to be attained, as in I have to go to a particular place, Kailasa, or I have to go to Vaikunta. It can be attained by going to that place or doing some tapas, I can attain it. But the reason for not attaining Brahman is plainly ignorance. And therefore, to attain Brahman, what must we do? We must attain knowledge. And that is what is being said here. Now we can get some doubts here. What we will do is take the word Ajnāna and we will do some vichara. In the end, we will see that we are going to say that there is nothing called Ajnāna. We are going to say, take something that does not exist and we are going to do some vichara on it. Now, let's look at the qualities of Ajnāna, ignorance. When we say ignorance is number one, anadi. Anadi means ignorance does not have a beginning. See, if someone asks us, do you know to read and write French, or do you know to read and write German? The person says, no, I am ignorant. And then the person asks, from when do you have this ignorance? What can be the answer? If he says a particular date, then it means you would have been a German scholar until that date. So whatever be the ignorance cannot have a beginning. Now when we hear that, we could get another doubt. Because we have heard from various places in our Sastras also, what does not have a beginning cannot have an end. Isn't it? What has not started, it cannot have an end. If it has not been created, then it cannot be destroyed. That is what we have understood. But then, ignorance alone is peculiar. It does not have beginning, but it could end. It could end due to jnana. In other places, whatever is neither created, is not created, cannot be destroyed. Whatever has not started cannot have an end. But ignorance alone, it does not have a beginning, but it could have an end. So the second lakshana of ajnana is jnana virodhi. Ajnana is jnana nashyam, that which is destroyed by jnana. See, by nature, knowledge cannot destroy anything. Knowledge does not have the capability to destroy anything except ignorance. See, knowledge, I cannot destroy anything physical through it, nor through knowledge I can bring it something. Suppose I say, I know I have enough knowledge about business. Now, this knowledge about business will not help me to bring me money. Knowledge cannot bring money. Suppose I have knowledge about all the vitamins, all the proteins, all things about health related stuff. That knowledge cannot bring health. Only action can bring something, only action can remove something. Knowledge cannot create anything, knowledge cannot destroy anything. But the knowledge has the unique power to destroy ignorance. Knowledge can destroy only the ignorance. So, if you look at, according to Tarka, the logic, Tarka Shastra, that which is not created cannot be destroyed, but that is overruled by our anubhava, by experience. Logic can be overruled by experience. Tarka can be used to prove a thing, that prove a thing that it exists for something that does not exist. Tarka can also prove that it does not exist when it exists also. Tarka can twist arguments. It can prove absurdities. That is why Tarka Shastra can do that. Like the lawyers, they can actually twist arguments either in favor or against it. For example, there is a story, right? A Tarkavadi was in a room sitting inside, and a visitor came to see him. Now this Tarkavadi, the visitor, he knocked on the closed door and asked the Tarkavadi to open the door. Both are Tarkavadis. Now the Tarkavadi inside asked if the door is partially closed. Asked if the door is partially closed. The visitor said, the door will be, if a door is partially closed, they said the door will be partially open. So the Tarkavadi inside said, if the door is partially closed, what does it mean? The person outside said, the door is partially open. It means that the door is partially open. Then the Tarkavadi inside said, so what if the door is fully closed? Then mean extending the same logic, the door will be fully open. So this is how Tarkavadis can actually twist arguments or extend logic to prove something which exists when it does not exist, or to prove something that does not exist even when it exists. But so the Tarka cannot be fully relied upon. We have to go with Anubhava, experience, and according to our experience, it is clear that ignorance can be destroyed although it is not created, and knowledge which cannot destroy anything or create anything can destroy ignorance. So Anubhava overrides logic here. So after knowing, ignorance is gone. Now the third lakshana of Ajnāna is, it is Avarana Swarupam. It has got a veiling nature, it has got an obscuring power. Ajnāna can cover what is already there. Like the sun is covered by clouds, or a rope is not seen in darkness. In the same way, the self is always present. The Atma is always present. But ignorance acts as a veil, so we don't recognize it. So, third lakshana of Ajnāna is Avarana Swarupam. So, first one is Anadi. Second one is, it is Jnana-nashyam, as in it will be destroyed by Jnana. Third is, ignorance has got Avarana Swarupam. It can conceal what is already there. Then fourth one is, Ajnāna is Moha Karanam. It is cause for delusion. It is cause for Adhyasa. The same rope snake example that we take. The rope is not known. That is Ajnānam. I don't see the rope. So from there is a mistaken perception. So from the mistaken perception, before the mistaken perception, there is an adhyasa. What is adhyasa? I superimpose the snake on rope. I don't see the rope, that's fine. But then now I superimpose the snake on rope, that is adhyasa. Now because of which I get moha. I get this mistaken perception. It causes fear in my mind. It causes confusion in my mind. So there are many more lakshanas of Ajnāna. When we do Upanishads, we will see them. But here there are four. Ajnāna is Anadi. Ajnāna is Jnana-nashyam. Ajnāna has got Avarana Swarupam. Ajnāna is Moha Karanam. So we have seen in general about ignorance. Now we will come to Atma Vishaya. See, Every jiva is born with ignorance. So ignorance does not have a beginning. All of us are born with Atma Jnana. If anyone is born in this world, they are born with Atma Jnana only. Because why? Jnanis do not have rebirth. Once you get Jnana, there is no rebirth for you. So a Jnani cannot take birth. So this ignorance wields the Atma Swarupa. And because of ignorance, we wrongly superimpose the adhyaropita, the body and mind, that body-mind complex, we superimpose upon the self-atma. So the jiva thinks, I am this body, I am this mind, I am happy, I am sad, I am limited, I am doing this, I am making him do this. So the jiva becomes karta, the jiva becomes bhokta. So the jiva gets papa, the jiva gets punya, the jiva remains entangled in samsara. The root cause for all of this is ajnāna. So here in the sloka, Bhagavan says that the knowledge, that the jnana illumines that Parabrahman. Just like how the sun illumines the things. When there is sunlight there, you don't need any extra light to see the thing. It is sun illumines everything. In the same way, the knowledge illumines. The moment you get the knowledge, it illumines the Atma. You don't need anything else to realize that you are Atma. Now if we go to the sloka, Jnanena tu tad ajnanam esham nashitam atmanah. Tu means Jnanena tu. However, atmanah, the last word, atmanah means about self, of self. Jnanena means by knowledge. So, Jnanena Atmanah. Jnanena is the first word, Atmanah is the last word. Jnanena Atmanah means by knowledge of self, by self-knowledge. However, by self-knowledge, Yesham Nashitam Atmanah. Yesham means whose. Tad Ajnanam. Jnanena tu tad ajnanam. Tad ajnanam means ignorance of that. Here also we will have to add atmanah there. Ignorance of what? Ignorance of Atma. Esham ajnanam atmanah nashitam. Nashitam means is destroyed. Whose ignorance of the Atma is destroyed. By what? By self-knowledge. By jnanena atmanah. So, whose ignorance of the Atma is destroyed by self-knowledge. So, knowledge of a thing can remove the ignorance of that same thing only. So, atmanah can be included both in ignorance and knowledge. Knowledge of cooking cannot help me to understand, remove the ignorance of driving. Knowledge of cooking can only remove the ignorance about cooking. So Atmanah has to be used in both. So whose ignorance of the Atma is destroyed by self-knowledge. Second line, Tesham aditya vajnanam prakashayati tatparam. Tesham, for those people. Whose people? Those people whose knowledge has been ignorance of the Atma is destroyed by self-knowledge. Adityavat means like the sun. Jnanam prakashayati. Knowledge illumines. What does the knowledge illumine? That param, that Brahman. So like the sun, the knowledge illumines the Brahman for those people whose ignorance of the Atma is destroyed by self-knowledge. So in these slokas, what does Bhagavan do? He is establishing that the real cause for all sorrows is ignorance, ajnanam. What is the big deal about this? Because not knowing what is the real cause of our sorrow is the real cause, is the most important cause for our problem. When we say, ask people what is the cause of sorrow, they'll say, my boss is like that, my in-laws are that, my someone else's behavior is that. What do? We try to change those people or try to move away from those people. Normally when we face pain or sorrow, our initial instinct is always to look outside. What we believe is the cause of sorrow is where we will be putting our effort to remove them. We change houses, we change jobs, we change vehicles, whatever. For example, someone has a headache and they believe it is because of toothache, they will go to a dentist. If another person having a headache believes that it is because of planetary position, you will go to the astrologer. If another person thinks that the headache, the cause for the headache is the eye or the eyes, then you will go to the ophthalmologist. So we tend to attend to for which we believe is the cause for our pain or our sorrow. But Bhagavan says these are all incidental causes. The root cause, the moola karana is ajnāna, ignorance. And that is the greatest secret. Because most of us do not realize it. Bhagavan not only placed ajnāna upon us, but he also wealed us from that knowledge that we are ignorant. Until we come to Sastras, we don't even realize that ajnāna is the cause of our sorrow. We don't even realize that we are ignorant in the first place. So Bhagavan has given us the ignorance. Not only that, he has hidden from us the fact that A, we are ignorant, 2, ignorance is the real cause for our sorrow. If someone, for example, criticizes, they speak to us harshly, immediately we feel sorrow, anger, insult. Our belief, because of our ignorance, is that the words spoken by that person are the cause of my pain. Why? Because we have taken ourselves to be this body-mind complex. And this small personality, it can get hurt. We are ignorant that the real self, Atman, it is untouched by praise or insult. So first, we do not know our true nature. We are ignorant. Second, we do not even know that we do not know our true nature. And therefore, we confidently blame others for our cause, the cause for our sorrow. So, this we will do a little more vichara in the next class before going into the next sloka. Any questions or comments? Okay. If not, we will see again in the next class. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.
Hari Om.
Harihi Om.